Welcome back. Today we're doing something a little different. Not a policy paper, not exactly a historical deep dive in the usual sense.
No, today we're looking at something more personal, more primal, maybe.
Exactly. We've received 3 accounts, true stories from a listener, that are genuinely unsettling. And we want to approach these not just as stories, but almost like source material on fear itself.
Right. We're looking at how they work, why these specific details get under your skin, what they tell us about that fragile line between, say, psychological distress, the supernatural, and just pure human malice.
So our goal here is to walk through these experiences, focusing on the elements that really create that lasting sense of dread.
And what's striking is that all 3 happen in places that should feel safe homes, familiar spaces. But that safety gets completely overturned. Let's get into the first one.
Okay, the first one. We're calling it the house-sitting dilemma. The setup is this. Our narrator gets hired by a friend, Keith, to house sit.
Seems straightforward enough.
Well, the main job wasn't just watering plants. It was looking after Keith's Uncle Mick, who apparently had severe dementia.
And here's the kicker. The narrator had never actually met Mick before this.
Oh, okay. That's immediately uncomfortable. You're isolated, responsible for someone unpredictable you don't know at all.
Yeah, total unknown variable. So the first day goes by. The narrator cooks meals, leaves food outside Mick's upstairs room, knocks on the door.
Any response?
Just a faint grunting sound. That's it. Mick never came out, never saw him. It was like living with someone who wasn't really there.
A presence, but unseen, adds to the tension.
Then comes the night. The narrator's asleep in a spare room, leaves the door cracked open just a bit, and they hear the door open.
Okay.
Followed by footsteps, but described as unsettlingly quick and heavy, rushing down the hall, down the stairs, super fast.
Quick and heavy, not what you typically associate with advanced dementia, maybe.
Exactly. And then just seconds later, the exact same sound, rushing back the stairs, and a door slams shut. It felt frantic, like Mick was actively trying not to be seen. That changes things, doesn't it? It's not just confusion or wandering. That speed suggests, well, almost paranoia, active avoidance. You know you're being watched, but also deliberately avoided. That's deeply unnerving.
It gets worse. The next day, the narrator's outside trying to relax, get some sun, glances up at Mick's bedroom window, and Mick is there, staring right out at him. But the instant Mick realizes he's been spotted, he ducks down. Gone.
Wow. So that confirms it. The feeling of being watched, hunted almost, in a place where you're supposed to be in charge.
Right. So the final night arrives. Narrator's in bed, fans running for white noise. But even over the fan, hears this short, sharp creaking sound.
The kind of sound that just cuts through everything else.
Totally. So instinctively, turns off the fan and listens.
Yeah.
And then hears it.
Don't tell me.
Faint breathing, close by, in the dark room.
Oh, no.
Looks towards the desk in the room. And Mick.
Yeah.
Mick is sitting right there on the desk chair, turned completely towards the bed, just sitting there in the pitch dark. Yeah. Narrator screams, obviously. Mick gets up, moves towards the bed fast, puts his hand over the narrator's mouth and says, shh.
Terrifying. Physical contact. Silencing.
The narrator manages to push him away, scrambles out of the room, runs to the nearest bathroom, slams the door, locks it, heart pounding, completely freaked out.
Understandably, what happens next? Calls a friend, Keith.
Calls Keith. And this might be the most disturbing part. Keith's reaction. Completely calm. Unfazed.
What? See?
Yeah. His advice was just, oh yeah, just sleep in the locked bathroom till morning. It's fine. He even mentioned Mick was, quote, potentially dangerous.
He knew Mick could be like this and didn't warn the narrator.
Seems like it. And that's the real horror that sticks, isn't it? Not just the encounter with Mick, but realizing your friend knowingly put you in that situation. That the whole environment was compromised from the start because of withheld information. A total betrayal.
Absolutely. The danger wasn't just Mick, it was the friend's negligence.
Wow. So to shift gears quite a bit now. Story number 2 takes us somewhere else entirely. Maybe supernatural. It forces you to grapple with seeing something that simply shouldn't be possible. We're calling this one Margie and the Living Room Rocker.
Okay, supernatural, intriguing.
This story actually comes from the narrator's father, happened back when he was in his 20s. He lived next door to an elderly woman named Margie, maybe in her 60s.
Right.
One winter, Margie just disappears, vanishes. Her husband asks around, nobody's seen her. It's cold, snowy, not good.
That's a grim tone already. Missing person in the winter.
So the father comes home one evening. He had been out playing football in the snow, comes inside, gets a fire going in the fireplace to warm up, then decides to take a hot shower.
Trying to shake off the cold.
Exactly. While he's in the bathroom, drying off, he starts hearing something from the living room next door. First, it's humming, like quiet humming.
Okay.
Then he hears the very specific sound of his grandfather's old rocking chair creaking back and forth. You know, the distinctive sound.
Uh-huh. A familiar sound, but maybe not expected right then.
Right. So he throws on some clothes, walks out into the living room.
Yeah.
And sitting there in his grandfather's rocking chair is Margie.
The missing neighbor.
The missing neighbor. She looks right at him, directly at him. And she says this line that just chills you to the bone. It was so cold, I needed to get warm.
Whoa! Just matter of fact, but completely bizarre. And the detail of the rocking chair, something comforting, makes it even stranger.
Totally. The father, understandably, is petrified. He bolts out of the house, runs next door, bangs on the door, gets Margie's husband, tells him Margie's in my house, in the rocking chair.
Okay, so they go back together.
They rush back next door, go into the living room. The rocking chair is empty. Still, Margie's gone. They search the whole house, top to bottom, nothing.
Vanished again.
But here's where it gets truly, fundamentally terrifying. The next day, Margie's husband finds her body.
Oh, no. Where?
In their crawl space. It seems she tripped, fallen, hit her head. A tragic accident.
Awful. But wait, when did she die?
This is the crux of it. The police investigate, forensics get involved, and they determine Margie had been dead for at least 3 days.
3 days. But the father saw her.
The night before. He saw her, she spoke to him, sitting in that chair after she was already dead. According to the timeline, long after.
So what does that mean? You're left with this impossible situation. Either the father imagined it under stress, maybe grief over the missing neighbor,
Or he saw a ghost. Plain and simple. And the narrator says their father, not a guy prone to making things up, absolutely believed until the day he died that he spoke to Margie's ghost seeking warmth. That impossibility, that timeline break.
Yeah.
That's the fear that lingers.
It's a classic ghost story structure, but the forensic detail makes it,
No.
yeah, profoundly disturbing. You can't rationalize it away easily.
Okay, let's move to our third and final account. This one brings us back to very physical, very immediate danger, but with a strange delusional twist. It really highlights how wider chaos can sometimes filter down into intensely personal, bizarre threats. We're calling it the attic intruder.
Right, back to tangible threats.
This happened during a time of
Same.
significant local unrest. There was looting, rioting happening in nearby areas, and rumors were flying that the narrator's town was next. So the family was already on high alert.
Okay, so there's a backdrop of general fear and insecurity already. People are on edge.
Very much so. They were actually staying up late, watching the street, worried about trouble. At one point, a large group of young guys, masks on, walked past the house, yelling, cursing. Looks like they might cause damage, but they moved on.
A tense moment, but maybe a false alarm.
Seemed like it. But later that night, the narrator goes downstairs for some water, walks into the den, and finds the pane of glass from the den window just sitting on the carpet.
Sitting there. Not shattered everywhere.
No, it had been broken out, but the entire pane was covered in tape, like meticulously taped up before being removed.
Whoa, okay. That's premeditated. That's not random vandalism. The tape suggests someone wanted to get in quietly, or handle the glass without cutting themselves, maybe. Much creepier than just smashing it.
Exactly. So the father calls the police. But because of everything going on, the response time is really slow. Police eventually show up, have a quick look around, don't find anyone, nothing seems stolen, and they leave pretty quickly. High call volume, you know.
Right, resources stretched thin, not ideal.
Not at all. So the father and the narrator decide, okay, we need to keep in watch. They decide to sleep downstairs in the den, near the now open window space.
Makes sense. Stay close to the point of entry.
So they're lying there trying to sleep.
Yeah.
The narrator feels this cold draft hitting their face from the empty window frame, and then starts hearing noises, faint sounds coming from upstairs.
Not outside, but inside. Upstairs.
Definitely inside. The narrator listens carefully, trying to pinpoint it, realizes the sound is coming from the attic, the highest point in the house.
The attic. Okay.
Gets up really quietly. Father's asleep. Creeps to the attic door, pulls it open just a crack. And the second the door opens, the noises stop. Dead silence.
Oh, that silence is terrifying. It means whatever or whoever is up there heard the door. They know someone is listening.
Exactly. Heavy, thick silence. The narrator's just standing there halfway up the attic stairs, listening into the darkness, waiting.
Heart must be pounding.
You bet. And then feel something. Fingers running through the curls in their hair from behind.
What? No! From behind, on the stairs.
Yes, followed immediately by this deep, guttural, cackling sound.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh my God. The proximity, the touch, that's the nightmare fuel right there. The threat wasn't even in the attic, it was right behind them.
Narrator screams. Father wakes up. Police are called again. They come back much faster this time. They go up to the attic and they find him.
Find who?
An old man wearing a mask, just hiding up there. They arrest him.
An old man. What was his deal? Why the attic?
According to the police, the guy was cooperative, but clearly certifiably insane was the term used. Laughing as they took him away, he told them he saw the looting on the news and just decided he wanted to join in on the fun.
Join the fun by breaking into a house and hiding in the attic.
His reasoning, apparently, was that he figured the attic is where people keep their most valuable possessions. So that's where he went. Yeah. It wasn't rational theft. It was like his own weird, delusional participation in the chaos he saw on TV.
Wow. That's a chilling kind of logic.
Yeah.
Blending societal breakdown with individual madness, targeting the most private, highest point of the home based on a delusion.
And the narrator says absolutely that feeling. The feeling of that man's fingers in their hair, the sound of that cackle, that's the specific trauma that will likely stay with them forever. The attic, once just storage, is now permanently unsafe territory in their mind.
I can absolutely understand why. It's the violation of personal space at the peak moment of fear.
So, looking back at all three, the house-sitting dilemma with its hidden danger and betrayal, Margie's impossible appearance defying reality, and this attic intruder driven by delusion, they all circle back to the same core fear, don't they?
Yeah, the violation of domestic safety. The places you're meant to feel secure become the sources of profound terror, whether it's mental instability, something potentially supernatural, or calculated, albeit insane, intrusion.
These aren't just spooky tales. They feel like, case studies and vulnerability, and how that vulnerability can be exploited in ways we just don't expect.
Absolutely. And maybe the takeaway is that the most effective threats are often the ones you aren't looking for. The ones hiding in plain sight, or defying logic, or just waiting quietly in the silence right above you.
It's a disturbing thought. If you found this deep dive into these true accounts of fear and vulnerability,
yeah.
Well, if it resonated with you, maybe hit that like button.
Yeah, and share it with others who appreciate these kinds of unsettling true stories.
And definitely subscribe to the channel, Horror Docs. We'll be bringing you more explorations into the dark corners of true experience.
We will indeed. Until next time.